Hello?
Hey, I'm back. No, because I'm staying with my cousin when I go to New York because I'm going to the Berto Porter fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so
So
yeah,
are you going into the ring with K Diddy?
yeah. Why y'all call him K Diddy, man? Why y'all call that nigga?
Cause man, the nigga be like, Sean can't do one damn interview by himself without K Diddy trying to compete with him for camera time, man. It's
Uh-huh.
like, take that, man. It's like what Suge Knight said, all up in the video,
Hmm.
dancing. It's just like, man, he on that, Lonzo Ball, what's his name? Lavar Ball shit. He
Uh-huh.
like that, man. Just want the spotlight to be about him and shit. So that's how we came up with that name,
Oh,
man.
okay. Well, if I take the other approach, if you say that, because I'm a huge fan of the Porters, I support them like for real, for real.
It's fine.
I
It's
know,
fine with me, man.
no, I know. But how about if Sean Porter is a Sean Porter is a real coy kid, and I know and believe that Kenny Porter is the fuel that drives Sean Porter, and Sean Porter is the fuel that drives Kenny Porter, and because they have opposing probably personalities, because Sean is very quiet, you know he never steps, he's always within a realm, you know what I mean, and but I think that I actually think Kenny does a good job. I actually think, and I know you and Ticket be going in on him, but I think Kenny does a good job. You know what? If you had a chance to like see them work, like I was up there for 2 days, man, their relationship is special, man. Like I never knew what Roy Jones and his dad relationship was, or Shane Mosley. I was too young, I was real young, 19, 20 years old, watching them guys work in the ring. But I did see Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Senior work together. We know how fucking how terrible, how up and down that roller coaster ride that relationship was. What Floyd did to what his dad on 24 was probably one of the worst things we've ever seen in black entertainment television. You know what I mean? Shit for real. And you know,
Oh, oh.
but and getting to LeVar Ball, I'm glad we found something that we disagree on. That's good, so you and I can talk about it. They, I don't see, I don't see like anything wrong with it per se. You know what I mean? Because I was always taught a long time ago, there's two things you never do: never tell anyone how to raise their kids or spend their money. You know,
Well,
go
I
ahead.
ain't telling the man how to raise his kid. I'm just like, man, just fall back. You taking away, you taking away the spotlight from your son, man.
Uh-huh.
It's not about you. It's about your son. I've said this before. And getting back to Kenny Porter, I commend him
Mhm.
on being around
Mhm.
for his son because black men have a very tainted reputation as
Sure.
not taking care of their kids. Because I have a son and I done been around my son his whole fucking life.
Yep.
I was there for every graduation, from when he graduated from kindergarten to
Yep.
when he graduated. So I understand that. I appreciate that
Mhm.
fact, because you see too much bullshit about the whole absentee black
Yep.
father.
I agree.
So that bothers me. But like I said, I give him all the credit in the world that him and his son are tight. But I just feel to a certain degree he needs to just chill. And as far as Sean Porter not having much of a personality, you could tell that by the way he talks. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
He's
you
very
can't make
coy. Like he's very disciplined. He's very like,
you
he's a
can't make
very like,
everybody into Floyd Mayweather.
yeah, he's not that, but he's very like uh he's the calm before, and he stays the calm until he walks in that damn ring. You know what I mean? But he's, man, I wish, yeah, I wish the boxing world can see like how like in unison they are. Like and I've been around Floyd Senior, Floyd Junior, uh, you know who else is like that? Leo Santa Cruz and his dad. They work so well together, and I know Leo Santa Cruz's dad is not well. I don't speak Spanish, so I really, really don't know what he be saying. but I don't understand Spanish, not speak Spanish. Excuse me.
Well, neither do I. So,
but their relationship is great too. You know, the Watsons is great too. Okay, how about if Sam was quiet, would the Watsons be as successful as they are?
I mean, you really don't see much of Sam unless he, enter in the ring. It's not like every time you look around. I mean, he does. I mean, when somebody put a mic in his face, he speaks. But I'm saying he's just not out there like the other guys and stuff. Now, and I want to get back to what you said about Floyd and his father. Boy, I tried to forget that. You shouldn't have even brought that shit up.
That was one of the most distasteful things I've seen. I mean, like in real life. I'm not talking about. Excuse me, like cinematic movie. I'm talking about just like the most real life shit one of the most real life moments I've ever seen in my life, because I didn't have a father, and I was like, damn, children talk to their father that way. I was like, wow, and you can't help but forget that. But there's a lot of pain there too, because admittedly his dad was a drug dealer. Admittedly his dad went to jail. Admittedly he sold his mom crack. So there's a lot of pain there that I hope and pray has been resolved now. So, but go ahead. I'm real interested in your commentary.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I had my stepdad, and my stepdad was in the military for years. So he taught me a lot of shit there. The funny part about it was my biological father was in the Marines, so I had the military. Wow. Yeah, the military shit running through my veins and shit. So that's why I guess that's maybe the reason why I am the way I am on my channel and stuff. So they taught me a lot of different things and stuff. So I had two fathers in my life, so that's why I came out the way I am, the way I grew up. And
sure,
I tried to put some of my thought process in my son, but at the same time, I let him be him. And as far as the shit with Floyd go, I would have never talked to my father like that. I was hurt as a father seeing something like that. Floyd, I'm gonna be honest with you, the black community gave Floyd a pass on that, because and I think we shouldn't have let him slide like that. But we was at the same time we was trying to protect Floyd, because luckily they didn't run amok with that story, because to be honest with you, if most of the media outlets would have picked up on that, Floyd would have destroyed his reputation. His reputation would have been destroyed. But luckily, a lot of people, that got swept under the rug. So that was the one time Floyd did get a pass. But when I seen Floyd do that, I was just like, disgusted. I was hurt, and I was just like really mad at Floyd for that, because I was a big Floyd Mayweather fan. Still am. I haven't liked Floyd's actions of late.
Yeah, they're questionable. Absolutely.
But I still respect him as a fighter, and I will never, put down Floyd as a fighter, because that would make me a liar. Now, Floyd the person, that's a different issue. But Floyd the fighter, I will never discredit Floyd the fighter.
Yeah, Floyd the fighter is damn near flawless. But I had a real intimate. We could talk about it off the phone, but I had a real intimate conversation with Floyd about 10 days ago, and we spoke about some personal stuff, and because we're releasing the movie, I'm doing the artwork for it now. I'll text you what we have so far. I'll text it to you when I hang out with you, but it's not done yet. But I'll text it to you. But it's the artwork for the movie posters coming out, and he's real. I'll just summarize it and say he's real interested in building his legacy. And it's hard to focus on your legacy when you have the world in the palm of your hands. You know what I mean? It's hard, and it worked. If the plan didn't work and generate $800 million, then it's very easy to transform yourself. But when you have $800 million, you have millions of dollars coming in every month, You're the face of boxing. You will be the face of MMA. You're the most polarizing sports figure. One of the most. I don't know. I don't know. So I may bring up another name, but you've dated every woman in Hollywood that you've wanted. You have 3 or 4 girlfriends. I mean, you have a universe that revolves around you. So it's hard to separate yourself from that. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So we'll see. I'm meeting with them in the next 2 weeks, and we have a meeting. And I talk to him. I talk to you. You know what I mean? I don't. It's definitely no different. And we just have great conversations. Sam is always there when we're together, most of the time, and we have great conversations.
Well, here's the thing with Floyd. I would love to talk to Floyd if that was possible, because I think Floyd needs to talk to somebody that's not on his payroll, somebody that can give him the real, and somebody that can just talk to him as as an equal. Now, I can't equal Floyd as far as money go. I'll never be able to do that unless, all of a sudden I'll win the lottery or something. And I'll
still wouldn't be enough. If you won the lottery, it still wouldn't be enough.
And keep flipping the money. Well, if I keep flipping the money, I could catch up with
well, your compound interest would be great, so you wouldn't have to worry about that too much.
Yeah.
You can do some high yielding stuff on the market, but yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, see, that's the problem with Floyd. He have too many people kissing his ass, and he have people that don't want to tell him the real, so that's why I feel like I could be more effective talking to him, because he can't fire me. So Floyd need to hear the truth. See, here's the thing about Floyd. Floyd need to realize that he still has an obligation to the black community, and that's the problem with a lot of these athletes. They keep forgetting that they still have an obligation to the black community, to look out for the black community, and don't forget about the people that's not in the position that you are.
I'm glad you said that, because I'm gonna say some stuff about Kenny Porter when you're done. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's all Floyd need to realize. Whether Floyd like it or not, and whether the people that hate Floyd or whether the people that's pissed off at Floyd was looked upon as a black hero, man. He was the real, black Superman. Here was a man that came from nothing. This man had, a 6th grade education, and this man went on to make millions of dollars and become one. One of the greatest boxers in history.
Top 5, top 10, safe. To be safe, I'll say top 10, just so people don't argue.
Yeah, it's like this. If you want to do Michael Jordan and let's just say Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar versus Muhammad Ali and Floyd Mayweather, you could say, Michael Jordan is TBE and Kareem is the GOAT, because I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest basketball player that ever lived. And it's no disrespect to Michael Jordan, because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's numbers speak for themselves. I don't think there is no motherfucker that is ever going to score 38,000 points.
Kareem, by far, Kareem is the most successful. I say this all the time. Kareem is the greatest basketball player to ever live, because Power High School, he never lost. UCLA, I think he lost 1 game. The Lakers, he goes to the NBA, wins 5 or 6 NBA championships, scores 38,000 points. I just think he's the greatest basketball player to ever play this game.
And wait a minute, he won the MVP, 3 or 4 times?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know those true numbers off the top of my head, but I know that he's the captain was special. And he was the captain. He was the old captain when I moved to LA in '85. So I will always have an affinity for that Showtime Lakers team, because it was cool to play basketball then. And I tell you, basketball is my first love, so it was just cool. It was sexy to play basketball, and beat Byron Scott one day, Magic Johnson the next day, go to the post and beat James Worthy. I had so many characters to be, you know what I mean, when I was stepped on the basketball court. So it was cool, man. Had the Converse,
Yeah, remember, nobody can duplicate that sky hook. Nobody can shoot that damn sky hook the way Kareem did. And keep in mind, the slam dunk got banned because of him. That's how dominant he was, man. People seem to forget that. They didn't. They changed rules because of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They never did that for Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was just the greatest person at advertising. He brought he brought all the money in. He changed the way you looked. He
brought commerce. He brought commerce to the game.
He made basketball $1 billion entity, which is more props to him for that. So Michael Jordan, he served his purpose. I would never say Michael Jordan wasn't any good, but I just don't think he's the greatest basketball player of all time. I'm sorry, that title belongs to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I say that.
And the greatest winner of all time is Bill Russell. 11 championships as a player and a coach. Ain't nobody ever did that.
No, that's a safe argument. That's definitely safe. But LeVar Ball, my question to you is: would you want the white man getting the money and promoting LeVar Ball, or would you want the dad getting the money off of Lonzo Ball? And part two to that is: don't we have a responsibility as parents to find out what our child is great at and maximize and monetize that?
That's a great point. I don't have no, like I said, I will say the same thing about him that I said about Kim.
No. I know that already. I know that, but what I'm saying is, who should promote the kid? The dad or a PR company? Should Kelly Swanson promote Floyd Mayweather? Or should Swanson Media has been his PR lady forever? Or should Floyd Mayweather get that money? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
So that's what I'm asking you. Should we? Why is it called exploitation if the parent does it, but if a PR firm does it, it's called business?
Well, at the end of the day, that's what they went to school to specialize in. That's what they got their degree in, and that's their line of business. Lonzo Ball, LeVar Ball is some dude that came out of nowhere that just said a whole bunch of ridiculous shit
on purpose, I believe.
Just brought his interviews are hilarious. He is. I'll tell you this much: he is a fascinating person. He's fun to listen to talk. Yeah, put me in the room with Michael Jordan. I'm undefeated. I could beat Michael Jordan. So it's like you listening to this dude, you like, this dude cannot be serious.
It sells.
The problem is he says stuff that you know is just not the truth, and I think that's where he hurts himself. Now, like I said, if he wants to represent his son, if he does it the right way, but keep in mind, man, a lot of times it's not. It's a pros and cons of having your parents watching your money too. Remember what happened to Gary Coleman?
Oh, you know what I'm saying? There's so many different examples of that. This goes on and on.
It's the pros and cons. It's the gift and the curse. On one half, your parents can be a blessing in disguise, but then on the other half, you can have situations where your parents is not looking out for your best interest too. That also happened to Macaulay Culkin. Look what happened to him.
Sure.
That motherfucker had to divorce his own parents. So
there are small examples of failures, but I think at the end of the day, man, the mother and father should get the lump sum of that money because they created them. They created the talent that night. You know, and they nurtured the talent throughout. I'm just a huge advocate of that. You know, I don't want no old bald white. Go ahead.
Well, I feel you. Well, let me ask you this, man. Can you just come out of nowhere, man, and just can you just come out of nowhere, wake up in the morning to say you want to manage Bank of America and stuff? You got to have the experience. I'm saying that's what agents are for. They specialize in that shit. Can you just come out of can you just come out? Well, I ain't gonna say can you just come out of nowhere and win the presidency because that's been proven that can be done. But I'm just saying as far as his dad watching his money and shit, you gotta understand. As he goes into the NBA, you gotta understand he gonna see some checks and some numbers that he ain't used to seeing, and sometimes you gotta wonder: is it gonna be for him? Or is it gonna be for his son?
Yeah,
you never know. Money do strange things to you, man.
Oh, I know. And
that's all. My concern is.
Well, we have to wait and see. But the first 4 years of his NBA career is pretty structured inside the basketball court, inside the basketball arena. Outside, the endorsement deal can be as much as you want. But wherever he falls, he's either gonna be first or second in the NBA draft. Well, let's say top 4. It's already slotted. So in turn, he could actually be his NBA agent for his first 4 years of his career, and then get 4 years of experience, and then negotiate, because I think it's a player option on the fourth year.
I know a little something about that. A lot of times, they sign a 4-year deal, but you can opt out after the third.
Yeah.
Yep. You can go somewhere else. You can opt out. Most of the time, these dudes stay, except for Victor Oladipo.
Yeah,
he ended up leaving.
Yeah, he got traded.
But most of the time, these dudes stay. Because keep in mind, back in the day, don't you remember back in the Chris Webber days where these dudes used to come out the gate getting these $70, $80 million contracts and shit?
Big ticket.
And they had proved themselves. So that was good that they did that. That shit started with Glenn Robinson, because Glenn Robinson came out the gate talking about he wanted $100 million.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that's why they stopped doing that stuff, which I think is good, because you need to let a player prove himself. But then when the player lives up to his end of the bargain, sometimes you have these teams that's hesitant to like pay him what he's worth and shit. So it's always the pros and cons of everything. But I do like the new system that's in place now. Yeah, because it seems to work. I just don't think you should come out the gate and give somebody $50 million.
Well, they do it in NFL.
2 years, you wish you never gave the money to the dude.
They do. They do it in NFL. You get guaranteed money first year, round one, pick one, $50 million. You know, and it's typically a quarterback or something. You know what I mean? But in the NFL, they can cut you like yesterday. That's why you gotta get that signing bonus money. That signing bonus money is crucial in the NFL. The NBA money is guaranteed.
Yeah, well, that's the good thing about the NBA versus the NFL. You know, that's why they retreat that rule. Yeah, you know, where you couldn't get those gigantic contracts and you hadn't played a lick of basketball. You know, the NFL, that shit is so tricky. Their system is very hypocritical. Now, it's funny, you can't leave when you want to leave, but then they'll pay you $10 million like 1 year, then they'll call you into the office and say, hey, man, we was wondering, would you mind taking
a pay cut so we can sign somebody? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and then they'll be like, well, no, I don't want, well, we got to release you. It's sort of like...
No, you're right. You're right. But I think LeVar Ball is, I mean, you got to promote yourself somehow, man, you know, and his kids are wearing the Big Baller brand. And if you get a 3-for-1 deal for $1 billion, shit, why not?
Well, if he pulls that off, then it ain't nothing I can say. Like I said, I'm not trying to tell the man how to raise his kids. I'm just saying, just don't make it so much about you to where everybody is focusing on you to the point they want your son to fail. It's just the way
I agree.
He talks.
I definitely agree that when because he's talking so much, people are going to go for his son's neck without a shadow of a doubt. But his son's prepared, and they've monetized the shit. I bet they're gonna get a reality show. I bet they're gonna get a slice of Nike, Reebok, or you know what I mean, to promote his brand. And if LeVar Ball is as good as he was at UCLA, if he comes in the NBA and averages 12 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, that's a hell of a rookie year, you know. And it works.
You need to work on the shooting for him.
Oh, everyone says, without a shadow of a doubt. But then the trick is, like, remember Bill Cartwright?
Yeah.
If the shit goes in, why change it? Well, he went to San Francisco. So ironically, I said that. But if it works, don't change it. You know what I mean? Fat lever. Remember Michael Adams used to do that. You know. So I don't know. We'll see when he gets to the NBA. I'm real interested though. Interested.
He's a point guard. He can't shoot like that. I mean, guys like Sean Marion, that I don't know what the hell that was. He used to do when he was shooting the ball.
Yeah, the flickaroo. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, the snap shooting. But what I'm saying about him, he's going to be a point guard, so he's going to have the ball in his hand a lot. The point is, what type of point guard is he going to be? Is he going to be a Russell Westbrook, Stephen Curry type of point guard where he
Jason Kidd, Michael Carter Williams. Jason Kidd, Michael Carter Williams type of point guard. You know, Sean Livingston. I mean, the potential of Sean somewhere in there. You know, I don't. You know, he'll be real slight his first couple of years. He'll have to use his speed. and his intelligence as opposed to his strength. But it's he gonna be all right. I think he's gonna be all right because NBA is so open. You see how many points they scoring in NBA now? It's like, where's the defense at? You know, so through the course of four quarters, he should be able to get 8 to 12 points a game in the NBA. And that's pretty solid for a rookie. You know, I mean, people we got these gaudy numbers, but 12 points would be a good number for him, being that he's a point guard. He's a pass first point guard. And
great point. But you're gonna be looking. They're gonna be paying a lot of attention to this dude because keep in mind he's gonna have a target on his back somewhere. Because keep in mind this is a dude where they said he was better than Stephen Curry, he was better than LeBron James, he was better than Russell Westbrook. So people are gonna be expecting they're gonna be expecting 20-9 as soon as he hits the league. Now the thing is with him, is he gonna be a consistent scorer? I don't think he's gonna be one of them dudes like Russell Westbrook and Stephen Curry that can put up 25, 26 a game. He might be. The funny part about it is he does have some Jason Kidd in him. Mm-hmm. Where he can score about 14, 15 points a game and distribute the ball and make everybody happy. And it's kind of funny. You think of Jason Kidd versus Gary Payton, who both are from Oakland, but Gary Payton was more of a scoring type of point guard versus Jason Kidd, where Jason Kidd was truly a facilitator.
Mm-hmm. Me and Lamar
I'm trying
Murray,
to wonder what kind of point guard is he going to be.
Yeah, we don't know, but a quick anecdote. Me and Lamar Murray was on the same basketball team last year. We played in this 35 and older league. And yeah, for real. And he said Jason Kidd was special. Oh, he said Jason Kidd was just absolutely special. I should, you know what? I told myself all the time to interview him every time and have basketball stories. But we be in such game mode, weekend warrior mode, that we don't even, and my team was so stacked. I had 3 NBA players on my team, man. We were so stacked. And we just ran through that damn league. But I should have interviewed him on camera. That would have been cool for you guys to hear his stories about his Cal experience, Clipper experience. You know what I mean? That would have been cool. But
I haven't heard that name in a while. That's a blast from the past. Yeah, he didn't turn out to be how everybody thought he was. He was drafted very high.
The 7th by the Clippers, right? Yeah, 7th by the somewhere in there by the Clippers.
And he turned out to be an epic failure.
Well, he wasn't a failure. He just wasn't a run and jump guy that you really, really, really wanted. And he had an awkward shot. Keep in mind, he had a high, some type of awkward release too.
I thought that dude was going to be better than what he turned out to be, man.
I agree. Because he had the frame. His frame is so thick. He's literally unstoppable. And the league we're in, unstoppable. Inside, if he went inside, it was basically over. But yeah, what were we talking about? Oh, Kenny Porter. But on some real G shit, Kenny Porter is that dude, man. I was, man. When I be hearing y'all go in on Kenny Porter, I'm like, man, if they only knew, when Sean and Kenny talk, off camera and shit, they're as cool as the other side of the pillow. But when you got to get, in my eyes, you got to get everything out of that vessel. You know what I mean? You just got to, and whatever you believe it takes. You know what I mean? Whether, someone told me a long time, actually Reggie Theus told me this. I used to hang out with Reggie when he was the head coach at New Mexico State. And he told me, he says, Frederick, he called me Fred. He says, it's easier to slow down a train than it is to speed it up. And he says, you get everything out of the train. You get everything. You make it go as fast as it can. And if it needs to slow down, you have the ability to slow it down. And if you train the train not to go as fast as it can go, it's going to feel uncomfortable when you put that shit in the 5th gear. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I think if Kenny Porter was Floyd Mayweather's dad, there's no way in hell Kenny Porter would tolerate that shit from Floyd. Kenny Porter would have walked away. He ain't tolerating that shit. You know what I mean? And if you put Kenny Porter in Roy Jones' corner, I think Roy Jones retires a lot sooner than he's supposed to retire. No way. I think Kenny. I want you when when you start coming to fights on a regular basis, I'm gonna make sure you meet Kenny Porter. You're gonna be like, damn, this nigga is real. I mean, he doesn't use the word nigga, so I shouldn't use that to describe him.
You sure you want me and him to meet? Since he like grabbing people's hands. I mean, that wouldn't be smart. First of all, I don't care if he listening to this video. You don't want to grab my hand and try to twist my hand. That would not be a good idea.
Nah, he's a good dude. Nah, I'm a pacifist. That shit ain't going around in front of me. Hell nah. But man, it's
you better not grab my motherfucking hand like that. And I don't give a fuck if he listening to this video. You'll hear about a fucking YouTuber and a trainer fighting. Nah. So I'm serious as fuck. I mean, I know homeboy. Well, I don't know him, but I know him.
Man. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. On some real G shit. On some real nigga G shit. Like Kenny Porter is that dude, and I'm talking to you. You know it. I'll talk to you off camera when we can talk about this, but I can't let the world know. But on some real G shit, like he's that nigga, man. Like for real.
Yeah, so am I.
So am I.
So that's what I'm saying. You better grab my motherfucking hand.
And real recognize real, and that's why I believe that. You know what I mean?
You better not grab my motherfucking hand like that. So that ain't gonna happen. So it'll be just like the Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. It'll be Oakland versus Cleveland again. So
now you looking at it from a different perspective. It ain't even about that. It ain't even about that.
But I'm just saying though, man. I mean, like I said, I appreciate the shit that he do for his son because
Okay. Let me ask you this. Do you think the Berto fight would have happened if Kenny Porter is not supporting Sean?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not out. I mean, I'm glad to. I mean, to be honest with you, I would have rather saw Sean Porter fight somebody else but you know, I'll settle for Berto.
There's no one left. You know, there's really no one left in the top 10. You know that he could have fought. You know, because everyone was pretty much taken. Unless you go Amir Khan, but that he was slated for Pacquiao. Lamont Peterson had just fought the other kid. If you want to talk about the second half of the 147-pound division, so you know it's a good fight for what was left. You obviously everyone wants. I want to see Sean Porter Keith Thurman again. I definitely want to see that fight. I had Sean Porter winning by 1 round in that fight. But I think, and Ken and I spoke about this too, that 10th round, I don't know if you remember that 10th round, Sean Porter was winning the entire 10th round. Do you remember this fight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it.
And Kenny Porter, excuse me, you got me talking about, and Keith Thurman hit him, remember when they were in the corner? He fucking hit him with a hook or a right hand or something like that, and the bell rung. And I think that was the difference in the fight because the fight was even going through 9. Fight was even. Like it was nip and tuck, and I was there. I was there for that fight. You know what I mean? It was nip and tuck all the way through.
It was a good fight, but I had Keith Thurman clearly winning that fight.
Really?
I mean, Sean did some good stuff at times on the inside, but them fucking power shots that Keith Thurman was landing just stood out alone. And I mean, that's the problem that I've seen with Sean Porter. It's just sometimes, you know, he roughhouses people. And he clearly doesn't know how to win rounds and stuff. And that's the problem. You know, he doesn't know how to finesse situations because sometimes judges don't go by all the roughhouse and the shit. He doesn't try to, like, box a dude. He tries to roughhouse people, and then he thinks that wins rounds. Keith Thurman, while he was sitting up trying to roughhouse, Keith Thurman was throwing punches. I just thought that Keith Thurman landed the more telling blows. They just stood out. You know, sometimes the pity-pat punches just don't look good in front of the judge's eyes. Sometimes, I know a lot of times judges don't look at body shots.
It's perspective.
Yeah.
I definitely would agree, but that hook that Keith Thurman landed was equal to Sean Porter's body shot. You know what I mean? So, So I think that...
Do you remember the Kell Brook fight? Do you remember the Kell Brook fight?
Yeah. Oh, I was there.
It was just like that fight, but then the problem was Kell Brook kept at times during those exchanges before all the holding, he would just nail Sean Porter, and that's what won him the fight.
He was
the
holding,
same
man.
Thing happened to,
you know, you can't even
honestly.
And I know by the time this video and people are like, man, you just rooting for the Porters. You can't even score that fight. That shit was so ugly. I mean, it was like, God, are we seeing a fight or are we watching wrestling? You know what I mean? That was just an ugly fight, man. I watched that fight. I always watch like the last 5 or 6 fights of the fighter going into the week. You know what I mean? On many occasions. But it's hard to get in a rhythm when that motherfucker just be holding. Damn. You know, he held 80 something. He held 80 something times.
Yeah, exactly. He beat Sean Porter at his own game. But the problem was before he started clinching Sean Porter, he would nail Sean Porter with two straight rights to the head, and then the judge would and then they would look so they would be so telling during the round of where what happened with Sean Porter. He was letting Kell Brook get the benefit of the doubt in that fight. Yes, it was tremendous holding, but at the same time, Kenny Porter needs to stop acting like Sean Porter don't do that shit too. So, I mean, it was one of those fights, Sean Porter let the fight get away from him. The same thing with Keith Thurman. He let the fight get away with him. Like I said, while he was sitting up trying to roughhouse Keith Thurman was throwing punches and landed them. Now, if you go by CompuBox numbers, which I don't even pay attention to that bullshit.
No, it's corny.
They said that Sean Porter had landed like 10 more punches than Keith Thurman, which that's debatable. But at the end of the day, Keith Thurman just looked like the clear winner. He just looked more busy at times, and his punches landed more effectively.
Well, I'll say this: when I was there, and it looked like around 9, 10, 11, and 12. Rewatch the fight from my perspective. Just watch round 9, 10, 11, and 12. Keith Thurman did not want to get off his stool. Keith Thurman went through hell and back to win that fight. Hell and back. Hell and back. And I watched that fight. I've watched that fight so many times, man. And because that's like, that fight is like, I mean, it's a different fight, but that's a fight I can watch. Cotto Mayweather I can watch, and there's one more I can watch. Floyd Mayweather, Diego Corrales. I can watch those fights to nauseam. You know what I mean? Like, it's just forever and a day I can just watch those 3 fights, you know? And watch Keith Thurman's body language when he turns in the 9th round or the 10th round. When he turns to the corner, it's like, man, I got 3 more rounds of this shit. Man, that Porter pressure is real. Like, and I know sometimes you guys, and I can't see all the punches that are landed and sometimes missing, and sometimes they look like, you guys may think that he's smothering his punches. But that pressure, he threw Paulie Malignaggi off the fucking cliff. I mean, he threw Devin Alexander off the fucking cliff. It's hard to sustain the Porter tempo. You understand what I'm saying? So that is a part of the game plan as well, and I believe that's not, in most people boxing eyes, that's not part of the scoring boxing criteria. You know, the four. But I think that pressure is just, it's just, it's special in my eyes. You know.
Yeah, but it doesn't look good when he does it. He doesn't win rounds. That's the problem.
Does it have
There's a difference between putting pressure on somebody and then you're still able to win rounds.
Sure.
Sean Porter don't have what you would call a fan-friendly style. And, yeah, I never said that the dude isn't, you don't win. I mean, you just don't win pretty against a dude like that. I've never seen, even though he has 2 losses, I'm not going to say that the 2 people that beat him, like, dominate him, they did enough to win because of some of the basic things that he lacks. Because sometimes I I looked at him in some of his fights. You know how sometimes he's reckless when he charges at somebody, sort of like Brave Bull from Mike Tyson Punch Out.
Sure.
That's exactly how he looks sometimes. And then sometimes in the middle of the ring, he doesn't try to box. He tries to like just swarm in there. He doesn't try to break it. Name one fight where Sean Porter like actually broke a good fighter down. Now those other guys that he beat and knocked out, they wasn't that good. So he fought two skillful fighters in Kell Brook and Keith Thurman, and they was able to succumb to him, and they was able to find a way to beat him. Like I say, Sean Porter is not an easy guy to beat. You don't look good against that dude.
But now, one round separated Keith Thurman. I mean, to be fair, 1 round separated Sean Porter and Keith Thurman. 1 round. Freaking round.
I would have to look at that fight.
No, I'm talking about what the judges saw.
Keith Thurman clearly winning that fight.
Man, I was there live.
I thought Keith Thurman dominated the first five rounds. I think he built a substantial lead. Now, the thing about Keith Thurman, he did let a couple of rounds in the second half, like, almost get away from him. I'm sure I'm looking forward to fight Sean Porter again. But I guarantee you in a rematch, Keith Thurman will show up again. You know, like I said, Sean Porter isn't a dude.
Keith Thurman don't want to fight Sean Porter again.
The dude, for a little dude, he is strong. So I give him credit for that. He's strong. He's strong as fuck for a little dude. I give him that. But where he's strong, he lacks boxing skills in some of his fights. A lot of people, okay, you know the footage that you had that you posted on your channel. They were saying the same thing that I'm saying now. There's certain things that he's missing, you know, but it's just certain things that's lacking with him. He doesn't just try to straight up box. I mean, it looks good when he's practicing, you know, and preparing, but in the ring, he doesn't do that. He doesn't listen to his dad sometimes also. So that's another thing. I mean, the stuff that Kenny Porter like tried to show him. I mean, I'm just saying, it's just basic shit. You know, you turn, you throw a couple of hooks, you turn, you switch. I mean, it's just like he doesn't show him anything that just stands out. There's certain techniques that you have to teach a boxer that makes him special. You look at the way Lomachenko trains, and you see him in the ring, he does damn near in the ring that he does in training. That's what makes guys like Lomachenko special fighters. That's what makes Floyd a special fighter. That's what makes Errol Spence a special fighter. You know, it's just the certain little things that they do. And I've just seen it in Sean Porter. He does, and that's another thing. Sean Porter doesn't make adjustments very well neither. If he falls behind, he still tries the same shit. Like Paulie Malignaggi, we knew he could steamroll a dude like that. So it wasn't no surprise. But I'm saying you need to find a way to beat better competition. You need to find a better style. You got to switch up. Sean Porter does not make adjustments very well. I'm telling you. And anybody that's listening to this video, they gonna say the same thing.
He's
box. Not good at making
but you know, he can box.
He is what he is.
The motherfucker can box, though.
Well, why don't he do it then?
He can. He can.
Dude, will he do it? Will he do it in a couple of weeks?
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. And I told this to Kenny. I said, "Damn, his hand speed. You gonna be his fucking hand speed." You would never know how fast his hands are. And I get what you're saying because sometimes he don't, all his hand speed is displayed on the inside, or much of it, I should say all of it. A lot of what the public see is, you always see him on the inside, going to the body and putting the guy against the ropes but man, his hand speed is, and the stuff that Kenny was showing him about the pivots, that shit that Lomachenko does. Keep in mind, he was a dancer too, so it's a collaborate. Like, he was a ballerina, so it's like a collaboration of the skills that he learned as a child. So it's a little bit different. You know, not many boxers are formal ballerinas. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little bit different. But the shit that he was doing, like the pivots and the turns and throw the hooks and stay on his hip. I mean, that's the goal, you know, to punch a motherfucker and turn him, to punch a motherfucker and turn him, make him redirect him. That's boxing, you know. Don't get hit, redirect the motherfucker, you know, offset him, make him reset, throw a jab, you know. That's boxing 101, and that shit wins fights, you know. And I think as I mean, Sean is only 27, so I mean he's at the beginning of his peak. 27 to 33, I would say, is the peak of boxing. You know what I mean? Somewhere in there, 27. No, Sean is 29. I'm sorry. So 27 to 33 is like the peak in boxing, I would say. You know, in most sports, you know, baseball, it may come a little bit younger in basketball, but you know, it's I'm glad we disagree on this. I'm glad we finally.
I just want to see him actually try to. I actually want to see him try to win a fight off just trying to box instead of the roughhouse of the shit.
Shit, listen. Oh no. You know the hardest thing to do in sports is to consistently compete against a motherfucker in any sport that goes forward every time. In basketball, the hardest shit is being defended by a motherfucker that defends you downhill. That's in your fucking jersey. I hated that shit. I would screen and roll. Come here, motherfucker. I would call my 4-man over all the time. My 5-man. Can you get this motherfucker off me? I would yell in the fucking you know, because I'm the leader. In college, I was the leader. Like nothing gets and when I was playing with Lamar Murray, I'm the leader. Like, get this motherfucker off me. And it's not because he's better than me, but I'm just uncomfortable. I'm literally like Sean Porter is the equivalent of Russell Westbrook in terms of aggression. You know what I mean? In terms of how he foresees his sport. I'd rather have the testosterone of a Russell Westbrook and a Sean Porter than a fucking James Harden. Although they're both talented, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but as I'm saying, his
it's not
the way he fights. Sometimes just doesn't win. Like I keep saying, doesn't win him rounds. I mean, I just feel like he needs to try to make adjustments in certain fights, and he doesn't do that. Like I said, he fights a certain type of way with every person. Where you look at guys like Keith Thurman, they can make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? They can make adjustments. Like when Keith Thurman got nailed with that body blow by Collazo, he made some adjustments, and he ended up getting established. I want to see that with Sean Porter, because I'm going to be honest with you, back in the day, when I first saw Sean Porter, he did actually try to box people. But then all of a sudden, the last few years, he started trying to turn into this mauler type of dude.
No box. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Fans just don't like that.
No boxer wants to be smothered walking backwards. No fighter on this planet wants to be smothered and have to take a step back.
Well, I'm telling you now, he tried that shit with Errol Spence. They gonna be picking him up off the ground. So
Sean Porter beats Errol Spence.
You really believe that?
Hell yeah!
Oh my God!
Sean Porter beats Errol Spence.
You a boy, but I don't think
Sean Porter beats Errol Spence, man.
Are you kidding me?
All right, we gonna see. We gonna see Errol Spence.
Man, I'm telling you, he tried that with Errol Spence. Errol Spence is gonna lay him out.
Errol Spence has never taken a step.
I'm telling you, Errol Spence gonna start attacking that body, and I'm telling you, he gonna clobber Sean Porter. But
Errol Spence has never taken
here or there. He got to take care of business next month.
Errol Spence has never taken a step backwards. You will have to take a step backwards against Sean Porter. It's impossible not to take a step backwards against Sean Porter. I mean, listen, you can't take. There is no fucking way that he would get a lot on his punches. You know, Errol Spence, for a 12-round fight, he's going to land punches. Obviously, he's a talent. He's an A-level fighter. Potentially an A-level fight. He has the, you know, but I, like I said, right now, if I have $10,000 in my hand, I'm putting it on Kell Brook. You know what I mean? Not because I just don't know. Like they say, Chris Algieri was the best fighter he ever faced. Chris Algieri was the great white height. He's not no Kelly fucking Pavlik. You know, he's not he's not that fucking good. You know what I mean?
Well, we gonna find out.
We gonna find out who Errol Spence really is. He hasn't fought no one. You know,
Errol Spence. If Errol Spence stops Kell Brook, then I'm telling you right now, Porter ain't gonna fight that dude. Because if that's the case, they asked for $10 million to fight him a couple of years ago. I just think Errol Spence, he's big and he's strong, and I think he would push Sean Porter back at times. I think that would backfire on him if he tried to bum rush Errol Spence. I think that would play right into his hand because I think Errol Spence would be able to tee off on his body and then land some of those combinations that he throws. And then I think, remember, he's a southpaw.
I know that.
So I think that would play right into his hands. I think he would love for Sean Porter to stand in front of him and try to roughhouse him. And I think he would try to break down his body.
Listen.
And I think he would hurt Sean bad.
I'm going to disprove all of that. I'm going to.
We will see.
I'm going. Oh, as you say, debunk. I'm going to debunk. I'm going to be debunked. Who's the best? Who is arguably the best fighter in the world right now?
Oh, the best fighter in the world is Andre Ward.
Okay, no. Well, I was going to say Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather's the best.
Floyd is retired, so I mean.
No, he's fighting Conor McGregor. He's fighting Conor, so he's back in.
Well, that doesn't count, man.
Okay,
that's a damn exhibition fight, man.
You're right. You may be right.
They should not sanction that as Floyd's 50th fight. That
you
would
may be right.
Garbage.
You're right. I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
I'll say Floyd is the greatest. He's the best fighter in the world that's retired. That's coming back for an exhibition match.
Let me tell you what pressure does. Maidana won. Floyd's the best fighter in the world. Floyd Mayweather beats Errol Spence. I don't care what nobody say. Oh, he's just no. Floyd Mayweather disarms Errol Spence and turns Errol Spence into a pop shot boxer. He won't Floyd. I'm talking about a 37, 38-year-old Floyd. I'm not talking about a 40-year-old Floyd. All right. I mean, Father Time never loses. If you don't believe me, look at your retired basketball players. Look how Charles Barkley looked now in comparison to what he looked like as a player. Michael Jordan now. Father Time doesn't lose. So what I'm saying is this: he turns Errol Spence into a lead puncher type of fighter boxer. He disarms him. You know, people say, "Oh, Floyd," but what makes Floyd uncomfortable is a no breathing space. And the same thing I told you, what I think Sean Porter would do to Floyd Mayweather, what Sean Porter's going to do to an Errol Spence, what Sean Porter did to Keith Thurman. See, keep in mind, Sean Porter's my height. He may be an inch taller. No, he's about my height. I think we're equal height. I mean, but you got to be on the inside when you're that little. You know, and to avoid you take a lot of power off people punting. You're going to get hit, and it may look ugly at times, but you know, it's just the way you have to fight. You know, fighting on the outside against Errol Spence, I think, would be for a 12-round fight would be tough. You know, fighting at the end of Floyd Mayweather's jab would be tough. But if you have the training regimen of a Maidana, if you have the training regimen of a Floyd Mayweather, Maidana threw 80 to 100 punches around and Maidana won. Floyd Mayweather just wanted to get the fuck out of there. He said, I just want to get... Man, I've been through hell and back. Now, Floyd Mayweather made great adjustments, but keep in mind, if there was 15 seconds left in round 3 or 4 or 5, forgive me for not remembering that round, when Floyd was iced. Remember when Floyd was iced and he grabbed the rope?
Oh, yeah.
Floyd would be 48-1.
I'm going to tell you something.
Uh-huh.
I said this, and I was completely honest about Floyd Maidana 1. Floyd stole 2 rounds from Maidana. Had Floyd wouldn't have stole those 2 rounds, and let's just say they went the other way, I had Floyd winning that fight 7-5 because he stole 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
If Maidana would have got those rounds and wouldn't have let Floyd steal them from him, he wins that fight. I had Floyd winning that fight by 7. I had Floyd winning that fight by 2 rounds. I had it 7-5 Floyd Mayweather. Mm-hmm. And Floyd stole 2 rounds. Mm-hmm. I watched that fight like 8 or 9 times, and I have the same results. I say, boy, Floyd is lucky to have won that fight. I said Floyd stole 2 rounds, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Floyd. I even think Floyd underestimated Maidana in that fight. Maidana came to fight, and I don't think Floyd expected to have such a tough outing. He did smother Floyd on the inside. He smothered Floyd. He put pressure on Floyd, sort of like what happened, what Oscar tried to do in the first fight, but Oscar wasn't smart enough to keep Floyd against the ropes and tee off on him, because Floyd was able to maneuver Oscar and keep him in the middle of the ring at times, and that's how Floyd was able to beat Oscar De La Hoya. Floyd won that fight like keeping Oscar in the middle of the ring. Oscar was effective against the ropes at times, but a lot of those punches he was missing. Oscar would land his jab at times to keep Floyd, at bay. But then when Floyd was able to maneuver Oscar and keep him in the middle of the ring, you would just see Floyd let off those 2-3 punch, bow, 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 bow. And then that's how Floyd would win rounds, and that's how he won the fight. Even though I had Floyd clearly winning that fight, I had Floyd clearly beating Oscar De La Hoya. I don't know where they came with that split decision shit, but hey, to each his own. Now getting back to Porter, like I said, you don't look good beating that dude. I think Floyd would have had a tough time with Porter, but I still think Floyd would have been able to find a way to beat him. I think Floyd would have beat Sean Porter the same way he beat Maidana.
Let me tell you this. Sean Porter would have baptized the shit out of Floyd, and I don't want to speak for another YouTube channel. I'll tell you off camera. Me and him had a great conversation about this, and he and I agreed. The only way to beat Floyd is you can't give a damn about boxing. Any fighter that steps in the ring doesn't have a non-boxing style. You got to have a non-boxing traditional style to beat Floyd Mayweather. You can't go in there with jab, 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 right cross, jab, 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 right cross, uppercut, right hook. That shit, man, Floyd sees that shit a mile away coming. Because remember, there's a rhythm to boxing. You only can throw one punch there's only 4 punches in boxing. You know what I mean? Jab, cross, hook, uppercut. There's only 4 punches, and you only can throw certain punches from different angles. That's what made Maidana so fucking special, because he wasn't throwing boxing punches. He was throwing his fucking arms. I mean, he was throwing overhand rights, angler hooks. I don't know what the fuck he was throwing, and Floyd couldn't time him. So Floyd would just shell up and pocket counter him. You know what I mean? And try and get him off him, try and turn him. But how the fuck can you turn him when you're in the corner and the other rope is there? And Maidana was in such great shape that he had the ability to pivot. Or not pivot, slide, and not let Floyd out. And when he gets tired, he clinch. But I mean, it's Sean Porter, Floyd Mayweather is a good fight. And honestly, believe it or not, that is the only style of fighter that has a chance at beating Floyd Mayweather. You cannot be Earl Spence and beat Floyd Mayweather. You cannot be fucking Keith Thurman and beat Floyd Mayweather. Keith Thurman doesn't get off a left hook against Floyd Mayweather. Because I'm not talking about the 40-year-old Floyd Mayweather. People say, oh, he might beat him now. Yeah, he might be, he's he's not who he once was, obviously. But it's hard to beat a great fighter when you're only a boxer. You could be a boxer puncher. It doesn't matter. If you have the traditional boxing style, you can't beat a Floyd Mayweather. That's why Kovalev has a strong chance at beating Ward this next fight. Because he's going to win by Malcolm X any means necessary. And that's why this is a scary fight for Andre Ward. You know what I mean? It is honestly, I'm being real for real. I would be real hesitant at putting my money on Andre Ward right now. in that fight because you're going up against a man that believes that he lost, he was cheated, he's better, and he fucking hates him. He fucking hates him. And you know how powerful that is when you hate a motherfucker? Oh, man, town. It's insurmountable. So I don't know if Earl, I mean, honestly, and I've never seen Andre Ward get to this point. Can Andre Ward hate Kovalev enough and beat him? That's a big, I mean, he may say it, but does his demeanor allows him to hate Kovalev? You know, he's son of God. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I can tell you this much about Andre Ward. Let me tell you something about Andre Ward, and to everybody that's listening. Do not think for a second that Andre Ward is not going to go into that fight with a chip on his shoulder, because he believes, same way Kovalev believes that if he got cheated, Andre Ward feels like, hey, I didn't get enough credit for beating this dude. And I feel like the backlash I got was because of whatever reason you may think it was for, you know, me beating this dude. You may think it was a gift decision by the judges, but I think Andre Ward is going to go in there. I'm going to clearly beat this dude. And keep in mind, Sergey Kovalev, him being a little too angry could possibly be his downfall. Because sometimes when you're too angry, you can't think correctly. I think both of these dudes are going to go in there with a chip on their shoulder. Sergey Kovalev blew that fight because, like I said, he tried to secure the fight. He didn't try to win the fight. And at times, Andre Ward was teeing off on him to the point to where Sergey Kovalev did more of the clinching than Andre Ward did. But you let HBO tell you that Andre Ward was doing all the clinching when it was actually Sergey Kovalev.
Sure.
Yeah, Sergey Kovalev is going to come in there angry, but I think Andre Ward is going to come in there angry too. I think Andre Ward has a chip on his shoulder too.
I hope so. No, I genuinely hope so.
I think he's pissed off about how people treated him, how these so-called fans treated him. Keep in mind, this is an Olympic gold medal, and this dude got, I mean, the way this dude got criticized when people said he didn't deserve the fight and he shouldn't have won it, I'm telling you, Andre Ward is pissed. And I'm telling you right now, you're going to see a different Dre than what you saw in the first fight. I think Andre Ward will make more adjustments to Sergey Kovalev than Sergey Kovalev will make towards Andre Ward. Yes, Sergey Kovalev is a rangy fighter. His range has always been a problem for everybody that he fought. But at the same time, Andre Ward, if you look at the second half of the fight, Andre Ward took that away from him a little bit. Sergey Kovalev can't fight on the inside to save his life.
And Ward can't fight on the outside against Kovalev. So it's the same thing. You know what I mean?
I think what's going to decide.
I shouldn't say can't. It's not his best. It's not to his liking to fight at Kovalev's range on the outside. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going.
Oh yeah,
okay.
I think. Well, that's why I think Andre Ward is going to try to work his way on the inside and try to pound on Sergey Kovalev. If Andre Ward can win the fight on the inside, he'll win this fight going away. If he tries to, play the battle of range, Sergey Kovalev has them long-ass arms. You know, it's going to come down to who has the best game plan, which I'm still picking Dre to win. I mean, I may be, it may be that Oakland thing, but
I don't know who I'm got winning this fight yet. Obviously,
But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this much.
Sure.
It wouldn't surprise me if Sergey Kovalev was to win this second fight. But I'm going with Dre.
Well, I'm riding with Dre forever.
This fight is called No Excuses. So whoever wins is not going to be any excuses. I think it's going to be. I just think Andre Ward. He's just too good. I think he's figured Sergey Kovalev out. I think he knows what to do the second time around.
I love everything you're saying, but there's business involved. I mean, there's so much involved, but I don't know. I don't know who wins this fight. Honestly,
I don't want to go through this bullshit again with this business shit.
No, it's real. It's real life. It's real life. I'm trying to tell you, it's real life. This shit is real.
Yeah, that's the damn problem. It's too real, and it's gonna be even realer on June the 17th. But as you know, I'll be there rooting for Dre. So I think this second fight is going to be a classic. I think it's going to be a classic, and I think all I can say is expect the unexpected. Because I wouldn't be surprised if this second fight ends in a stoppage.
By who? Oh, for somebody?
It don't matter. I just wouldn't be surprised if this fight ends in a stoppage. For people that think Andre Ward can't damage Sergey Kovalev to the point to where he can't stop him, they better think again, because keep in mind, Andre Ward did bust Sergey Kovalev nose, and obviously his punches hurt Sergey Kovalev enough to where Sergey Kovalev had to clinch him at times.
Oh, he clinched a lot. I love this fight, and I'm real. If you pick Ward, like without factoring Kovalev, you're not being wise. I think I'm rooting for Ward 100%, but I know the vengeance he has in his heart. You know, I was like, give you an example, my basketball career. I was in middle school. I was on the same basketball team with Kenny Bruner. Well, Kenny Bruner was in the 7th grade. Jason Hart was in the 8th grade. I was in the 9th grade, right? I was better than Jason Hart, but no one was better than Kenny Bruner. Kenny Bruner, you know who Kenny Bruner is? Kenny Bruner is the Black Santa on the And1 mixtape tour. But he should have been a fucking pro. But the motherfucker had some off-the-court issues that he couldn't solve. Anyways, I was better than Jason Hart, but Jason Hart was taller, longer. You know what I mean? And he just did it a little bit different than me. A little bit easier than me, right? Because I had to play defense. You know, I'm a little guy. I had to play defense. I had to run the screen and roll perfectly. So I had no leeway. You know what I mean? I had no leeway in terms of what I could and couldn't do. Jason Hart had a little bit more physical attributes, so he could dance a little bit on the basketball court, right? But I was better, right? I was a better basketball player than he was, right? And when we got to high school, he played for Westchester. I bust Jason Hart. I mean, I got into him. He got a T in that game. Like I said, I remember this shit from middle school. I'm like, man. And we had high school coaches coming to our middle school all the time trying to get us to come to that high school. And so that's what I mean, the vengeance. The vengeance. I said, man, because he went to Inglewood and then he transferred to Westchester. I said, I got a chance to play against Jason Hart. Oh, man, I balled my ass off that game. I was throwing no-look passes for dunks. Oh, I was balling. You know what I mean? And it was just, so I know the vengeance that's going to be in his heart. And man, Jason Hart and I are great friends now. We talk about that shit all the time. Like, you know, I had that pit bull in me. But, I mean, he just did it a little bit differently. College coaches deemed him a better college basketball player because he was taller and longer. But I believe I was the better basketball player. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, that malice that Kovalev will have in his heart for this fight, I know the feeling. You know, I know the feeling. You know, and it's I can't discount that. I'm going to look at Kovalev on Wednesday when I go to the press conference. And that's when I'll start thinking about that fight. You know, but there's so many fights before that it's hard just to start. It's easy to get excited about it, but there's so many fights you got to break down before that. It's hard to spend too much energy breaking down that fight just yet. You know what I mean? So,
well, I'm looking, like I said, man, June 17th can't come soon enough, man. Because like I said, I am looking to this fight. And look, and I want to make this clear to everybody. If Sergey Kovalev wins the fight clearly, the second fight, I will give him his just due. But you have to wonder, is he going to have you have to wonder, is he going to be able to make adjustments to it? Like I said, it's going to come down, Fred, to who's going to make adjustments first. Will it be Ward or will it be Kovalev? I think whoever makes the best adjustments during rounds and certain segments of this fight is going to be the winner of this fight. Whoever figures who out first. So that's what it's going to come down to. But do not doubt Dre. Do not think that Dre is just as angry as Sergey Kovalev, because I think he wants to prove, hey, man, I'm the best fighter on the planet, and people are not giving me my praise, and people are not giving me my just due. I fought to get where I am. You know, I fought the best people to get where I am, and then nobody wants to give me my credit. And then you have this other dude from Pakistan that come out of nowhere, and they're saying this dude is better than me, and he's the greatest 25 fighters in history. So I'm telling you, Dre is going into that fight with a chip on his shoulder. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a great fight.
But does he hate? But does he hate Kovalev? You gotta hate. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I wish I can. I wish I can put into words the visceral hate that I see in Kovalev. He hated him before this fight, but now it's to the point where if he can knock Ward unconscious, he would.
Well, he said he gonna end Andre Ward's career,
and he's gonna train like it. I'm telling, man. I wish I can. He's gonna train like it too. He's not taking no days off. Like he's gonna eat, sleep. I mean, when he's having sex, he's gonna see Andre Ward's face. I'm telling you. I'm being dead ass honest with you. And I don't want to make this into a homosexual conversation, but I'm just talking about that's the kind of focus he has. You know what I mean? Like it's he may not even have sex this camp. You know, like I'm dead.
Well, you're not supposed to anyway.
Well, I mean that's arbitrary. You know, Robert Garcia said he had sex before fights. You know, but it's just, man, I wish I could put into. I mean, all he's thinking about for 6 months is Andre Ward. That's all he's been thinking, and I know you can tell by his. You can tell by what he's been doing this entire in between fights, the time in between fights. So, but yeah, man.
Well, like I said, man, June 17th. that's gonna be the day. We will truly, one way or another, we will truly find out who's the best fighter on the planet. Will it be Sergey Kovalev? Will it be Andre Ward? I'm trying to set it up to where I could talk to this dude because I want to see what Andre. I want to pick Andre Ward's brain a little bit. I want to see where he is.
You'll be able to talk to him. You'll be able to talk to him. You'll be able to talk to him on Tuesday for sure. Oh, 100%, 100%. Virgil gonna see you coming. Virgil's A1. I'm telling you guys, Virgil's A1, man.
Yeah,
he's an A1 guy.
I'll be there early. You know, I mean, since we doing this show, I was actually wanted to save it for the for Tuesday, but fuck, they know now. So yeah, I'll be there on Tuesday. So
this is a long ass video. This is gonna be one video. This is gonna be an hour and a half conversation.
Oh, okay. Well, this is fine with me. Shit, I can go.
I may cut out the Andre Ward stuff and make it separate, but yeah, man. But to sum it up, I'm about to go get my weekend warrior on right now. I'm about to go work out and shit.
Well, I can't wait to where we link up, man. In Vegas, man. Hey, you know the Tupac movie come out on June 16th. Tupac's 46th birthday.
I'm gonna watch that in Vegas. I'm literally gonna watch that. That's what I'm doing Friday night in Vegas. I've never seen a movie in Vegas ever in my life, so I'm gonna watch this movie, and I'm gonna go to the Palms. They got the movie theater at the Palms. I'm gonna go to the movie theater at the Palms, watch that movie, chillax, and get ready. And you talk about me being all black. If that shit don't make me, you know what I mean? Oh man, I got a great weekend that weekend. Root for Ward and watch Tupac. So I'm there. It may even come out on the 15th. So if it comes out the 15th, you know that at midnight, I may even go watch a midnight show because the older I get, the more, be honest with you, I tear up sometimes when I listen to Tupac. Like to live and die in LA, man, that shit, man, because I was raised, I wasn't born in LA, I was raised in LA, and Tupac gets me emotional sometimes, man. Like when I'm on my personal growth phase, like when I'm having these personal growth moments in my life, and I'm in silence, I have a Tupac playlist on my Spotify, And I just, man, Tupac, man, man, he gets me there, man. Like, how great. There's two people I wish that would still be alive today. Well, I shouldn't say just two, but in that realm, Fred Hampton and Tupac Shakur. Man.
Oh, okay.
Man,
yeah, I know who you talking about. People might not know who you're talking about as far as Fred Hampton go, but I know who you talking about.
Fred Hampton, he was 21 when he was murdered by COINTELPRO, I believe. Man.
Yeah.
Or the police, but they said it was COINTELPRO. But, man, he would have been special. Man, he would have been so special. I encourage everyone to go listen to some Fred Hampton speeches. You know, go listen to I mean, obviously, he has billions of views on YouTube, so I mean, he has tons of speeches. But Tupac was a special guy, man, and he would have and he was using hip hop as a platform. See, hip hop artists today don't use hip hop as a platform, as a whole. Like you got the J. Cole's, you got the Joey Badasses, you got the Kendrick Lamar's. Jay-Z does it in his own way. Kanye used to do it, where hip hop is a platform to spill truth into the world. You know what I mean? And we need more leaders like that, you know. And it's but getting back to Tupac, man, I got so much love, man. I have infinite amounts of love for Tupac, and I never met the guy. Never spoke to him, but I love that dude.
Well, keep in mind, I lived through the Tupac thing when he was in Oakland with Digital Underground, so I kind of seen the process going. You know, I remember when he was on All Around the World, same song. That was like the first time I ever heard the dude rap. I was like, damn, this Tupac dude is pretty good. And it was funny, everybody was saying at the time that Tupac and who was they saying out of the? I know everybody was talking about Tupac and Spice One. This two of the up and coming artists that was out of the
I remember Spice One. I haven't heard that in for a long time. Yeah, Richie Rich. That was my nigga out of the Bay.
Yeah,
I loved his voice. He had a great rapping voice.
Yeah, Richie Rich but you need go listen to Richie Rich. Go get on your phone and go listen to them old 415 songs when he was with 415. Richie Rich started in a group called 415. It was Richie Rich, D-Loc, and DJ Daryl. Just listen to this song Richie Rich got called The Sideshow. In case you got, and I'm gonna end the video like this. In case you guys don't know, all Bay Area people know this. The Sideshow is a song that they made about a little event what we used to do in Oakland, like every Saturday night. Everybody just ride around Oakland up Foothill Boulevard or ride up either Foothill Boulevard, sometimes East 14th and Bancroft. And we'd just be riding in the car, side and parking, talking to chicks and shit. And then we'd park, and then everybody would spin donuts, you know, like in, you know, either old school Mustangs, you know, Skylarks. And yeah, Oakland used to be popping back in the day. So everybody used to, you know, hang out in Oakland. So that's what Richie Rich was talking about.
East 14th where the pimps used to play.
Yeah. Huh?
East 14th where the pimps used to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's called international.
Actually, it's still some hoes on East 14th.
It's called international.
East 14th for San Pablo never really shut down though. You know, people have to elevate their game. You know, but the pimp game is a little different now. You know, now they got what you call tennis shoe pimping, guerrilla tennis shoe pimping. You know, ain't none of this shit with niggas in suits and, you know, lemon lime and pink suits now. Now they got the new generation of pimps that treat hoes like the turf. You know, niggas telling you know, some niggas chicks that can't sell pussy on this corner and all that type of shit. It's just different now. You know, it ain't like the Mac. So, unfortunately.
Iceberg Slim in that motherfucker.
It's different. Tell you now, East 14th is still popping, but to a certain degree, but it just ain't like what it was back in the 80s and the late 90s and shit. So,
yeah, I remember that shit in rap songs, you know what I mean? And I saw some you know, I saw some pimp documentaries and shit, you know.
Oh, okay. So, okay, well, watch Pimps Up,
Hoes Down.
I think, watch American Pimp, man, or Pimps Up, Hoes Down. You'll see a pimp nigga out of Oakland, Kenny Red. So, yeah. Or Fillmore Slim.
Fillmore Slim up in this motherfucker. Yeah, Fillmore Slim, Iceberg Slim, right? Yeah.
Nah, Iceberg Slim was a different. Iceberg Slim was an old ass nigga. Iceberg Slim was, I think, from the East Coast and shit. But he wrote a whole bunch of pimp books and shit. Fillmore Slim was this nigga that was out of shit. He was an old nigga back then. I think he's still. I think Fillmore Slim like 90.
He's still alive.
He was. He might be. I mean, I could go to. I can find him. Maybe we could do an interview with him. So yeah, maybe I could hook that up. So yeah.
Anyways, man, I appreciate you spending 2 hours with me.
Nah, it's all good, man. Anytime, man.
Yeah, let me see how long we did. Yeah, 120. Hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
Appreciate it.
Well, I'll tap back in with you, Fred. So
for sure. And I'm looking forward to you meeting Kenny Porter so you can fully understand the relationship. And for that matter, I want to meet Lavar Ball. I've been in the gym with him, but I've never met him.
Well, you got to get him on your show. Please get him on your channel.
I would. Oh, I'm gonna talk to him eventually. It's just an
all right.
law averages.
Tell Kenny Porter I'm looking forward to seeing him. Just tell him don't grab my fucking hand.
He ain't about that, right? Kenny Porter. Now, keep in mind, Kenny Porter's a gold glove fighter now, so be careful.
I studied martial arts for a while. So
I'm fucking
trust
with you.
me, I'm well prepared.
I'm a pacifist, man. I don't fuck with that shit, man. But you know the funny thing about violence is no one truly wins. If you're not getting paid, if you fight on the street, you're still gonna come up with nicks and scratches and broken nose, black eye, something gonna happen. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, at my age, man, that shit is for the birds.
Well,
self-defense is different, but
okay, well, I feel you. Well, just look out for the video of me bench pressing 300 pounds with no spotter. So that video coming soon. One of my training videos.
Oh, I appreciate that. That'll be dope. I got to start doing them videos too.
Yeah. So y'all look for that.
For sure.
But, all right, Fred.
Pleasure talking to you, man. I'll holler.
All right, brother.
All right. Bet Lomachenko.
All right.
All right. Peace.